If you cut somebody's artery, you're in big trouble even today with everything else. So the whole idea is bleeding, to me, is not necessarily cutting somebody's artery. It's getting a serious cut that is difficult to stop the bleeding, and you're able to do it. So, obviously, this result, and again, are you that ignorant? Are you that stupid that you would actually put a test like this together that you would fail at? And you have 2 dead dogs left from the whole process? Which I find personally very affronting, or any life form for that matter. Is this what you really did? Well, as you said, we really can't tell here. There's so many things here that are, we don't know if this reporting is correct. I don't like the way this entire little article is written. What are we to make of that? How are you going to impress anybody by producing results like this? And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about stopping bleeding. There's no stating that, oh, well, their diseases are really in them and they actually do have syphilis and other things and they'll pop up in 5 years. Because a lot of these conditions can be in you energetically. But, of course, it's still bad practice. As I said, I went to a person who told me these kind of things as well. And I said, well, that's not now. What is the now problem? And they really couldn't define that. They give you 50 things, so you leave just kind of confused. Apparently, with all these people, and what's interesting with this video talk, and I recommend everybody watch this, is the information you got. Apparently, Albert Abrams' estate was worth $2 million when he died in 1925, which is probably equivalent to 50 million today, 20 million at least, which is a lot of money. And of course, back then, $2 million was a fortune. You could buy half of California probably for that. So he had a lot of money in the bank, and it has been stated that he was trying to open his own hospital. Well, he certainly could have with that money, and he certainly could have opened a hospital before that, but he died at a very young age from pneumonia, which apparently he predicted. What are we to make of all this? So this is a really fun lecture, and of course it's always more interesting to watch film than hear somebody talk. So definitely go to this link and watch this, and you can see some of her actual machines and what this person states. Very fascinating and a very enjoyable view, even though from a person who's 100% negative. So, you've got to screen those things out because people don't understand it. This woman doesn't really know what she's talking about. But, when you make outrageous claims, you're going to have to make sure you follow them up. That's why I find it interesting that you find this a lot on the web about all kinds of products, and, the YouTube hucksters. You're going to be a millionaire. It's 5 minutes a day when you're sleeping. All the money will come in your bank account. You wake up in the morning, you got so much money you don't know what to do. And it's easy. I do it. So this is the kind of hucksters, the people out there like Ty Lopez. I made all my money through dating services and a book club started by somebody else. Dating clubs to date models and millionaires because they need dates. Models can't get dates. So they're going to help you get a model date. Sounds to me like something is very wrong there. Very suspicious. So the point is, this is what they do, and they claim to be so rich. Well, how are they so rich? And the book club that he's talking about that makes so much money was started by his associates, which are a whole group of these Iranians that run this book club, and he claims to have so many members doing it. Well, I don't know, obviously, if he has that many members or his group does, they're making a fair amount of money. But the bottom line is that's not technically what he said. And what does that have to do with any other business he tells you? So, while he's a charismatic guy, this is the hucksters of hucksters. Well, what about everything else? So the point is that all of these people need to be looked at. We just don't know the truth here. And there's so much misinformation and lack of credibility. And of course, the people that report on these things are going to be negative people in general. So they're going to be people that are the dumb bunkers, the idiot skeptics, and the whole idea is that these people are going to write the information. They're going to make the history of all this. It's amazing that these things are still around. And of course, there's been many people doing it, and these simplistic type units produced by Drown and Delaware are still in use today. Now, do they work? And of course, Malcolm Ray. No energy whatsoever, just being transferred through magnetism in his little card. Well, we don't know. And I'm not prejudiced enough to say all this is bunk because it isn't complicated enough. Generally, simpler things work better. So make sure you go to the link below, enjoy that talk, and more to come.